What is up, weather enthusiasts? I'm your host, Pat's Path Predictor. Let's get right into the weather. Alright, so here's the situation we have for you, ladies and gentlemen. We have an Alberta clipper moving through parts of the Great Plains as of right now, as it's starting to approach the Chicago area and other parts of the Midwest, bring some potentially big snowfall, especially a lot of lake effect to areas around Chicago, a lot of lake effect to areas around Cleveland in Ohio and even in Erie, Pennsylvania, and some more lake effect in parts of New York as well. So we're going to go ahead and cover all the big threats that we have with this right here. We're going to go ahead and jump right into this. So I've been paying attention to a lot of the modeling that we've been taking a look at right here. The latest models are continuing to come out right here. We have the 18Z HER that's starting to come out right here, and we're going to go ahead and kind of get started right here. So this is the Alberta clip right here. It's not particularly that strong yet, but it is starting to organize and develop as it brings more snowfall to Iowa and parts of Kansas and Missouri, and then into potentially Illinois as well, as it brings some snowfall as far south as around Cape Girardeau, Missouri, as it starts to impact the Chicago area. And this spreads all the way from Iowa to Ohio at this current point. Here's the Mid-Atlantic situation right here. And it goes even further into West Virginia and Virginia as the low pressure system near Missouri takes over here. So that's what we have going on right here. We also have our thickness at 5,400, which is basically what we need for snowfall. It's much further to the south right now. It's over Arkansas and parts of Tennessee. So there's no question that's going to be cold enough, unlike last week, that's going to be snowing in a lot of these areas right here. Temperature is going to be supporting that. However, as this thing is going on, and as this thing spreads into the overnight, as the clipper starts to move out of Illinois, we start to see quite a lot of lake effect right here, in both Illinois and in Michigan right here. We start to see that as this develops, and this lake effect band, we're going to go ahead and zoom in, and we're going to zoom into the Great Lakes region over here. This really starts to ramp up and brings a lot of lake effect snow to areas near Gary and Porter County, LaPorte County. There's actually a winter storm warning out for both of these areas right here. We're going to go ahead and show you what we're looking at. Here's the winter storm warning in effect for Porter County right now. This is what we have right here. The winter storm warning goes into effect from 10 p.m. this evening until noon Friday. Another winter storm watch has been issued from Friday afternoon to Friday evening. Travel is expected to become extremely dangerous, if not impossible, in spots late tonight into Friday morning under the most intense lake effect band. Snowfall rates in this band of 2 to possibly over 3 inches per hour are likely. Now, for those of you who do not know how heavy 3 inches of snow per hour is, think of it this way. The snow plows that are going to be out in trying to plow the snow off the roads are not going to be able to catch up with it, because by the time they make another pass, maybe an hour later, there's going to be 3 inches of snow on the ground. So what I'm saying is this goes for interstates too, because the temperature is going to be like below 20 degrees. And the reason that is so critical is because that's when SALT stops working. So the SALT's not going to be able to do anything, and we have 3-inch rates per snowfall per hour, so the plows aren't going to be able to really make a dent in that lake effect band. This combined with wind gusts of up to 40 miles per hour, right? Which I'm not joking. This is the NWS right here. I was about to say NHC, NWS. Okay. Will lead to pure whiteout conditions. Remember, blizzard conditions are 35-mile-per-hour wind gusts with visibility of up to a quarter of a mile with snow for 3 hours. So, if this is correct, we're looking at potential blizzard conditions right here, and this is particularly scary. Me looking at this objectively right here. Lake effect is pretty damn powerful. And I've never experienced lake effect before to this scale before, but I know it has to be that intense right here. And this here's what we have. Unnecessary travel should be avoided over northeast Porter County late tonight and Friday morning. For southwest Porter County, accumulating snow along the blowing and drifting snow will result in hazardous travel late this evening through Friday morning. Due to the nature of the lake effect snow, conditions can vary significantly over short distances. going from just flurries to whiteout conditions in over the span of just a few miles. This can also result in highly variable snowfalls in short distances. That's why there's an excess of an inch rate instead of a inch range with these warnings. We're going to go ahead and go to the winter storm warning for South Bend over here. Here's the situation that we are dealing with right here. Heavy lake effect snow expected for this part. Total snow accumulation of 4 to 8 inches for parts of northwestern Indiana. For LaPorte County, this is going to be pretty interesting because this is where the bullseye is supposed to be. Here's what we have. LaPorte County, total snow will generally range from 6 to 12 inches elsewhere. Heavy lake effect snow is expected. In northern LaPorte County, we are looking at 12 to 18 inches, as well as in southwestern Barron County, which is in Michigan. So we're going to have to pay attention to this. And this is going to be a very big event that's going to be going on tonight into tomorrow. So we're going to have to pay very close attention to that as we continue to get more information right here. Now we're going to go ahead and go back to the models because I know we're kind of just going all over the place at this current point in time. But we're going to go ahead and show you we're going to go ahead and show you what we're potentially looking at right here. This is the 1-inch snow accumulation right here, according to the HUR. As you can see, we're looking at those snowfall rates exceeding 3 inches per hour in northern Porter County before it starts to shift towards LaPorte County and then Barron County into Michigan into the afternoon and evening. This is going to be a very crazy event right here. Total snow accumulation, according to the HUR right here, by the time this is done and by the time this whole lake effect system settles down, pretty much areas from the Lake Porter County line all the way to southwestern Michigan are looking in excess of a foot of snow, with some areas exceeding 18 inches, which is pretty crazy if you think about it right there. Now we're going to go ahead and show you the RAT model right here. We're going to show you this as well. The RAT model at this current point in time isn't fully out, but we do have a good enough understanding to see what we're looking at. It's bringing the majority of the snow to LaPorte and Barron County in Michigan. Still 18 inches of snow. Pretty much 15 to 18 inches of snow across a lot of these areas over here. And the Chicago area, because of this clipper, and depending on how far west this band goes, because the NWS isn't exactly discounting this right here. If we can go ahead right here and go to the NWS office for Chicago right here. Here's the forecast. Okay, never mind. I know that I was looking at it earlier, and some of the things the NWS was saying is that there's potentially a situation that we have developing right here, current hazards forecast right here, winter weather. Perfect. This is it right here. This is what I was trying to show you. They're predicting, according to this, 3 to 10 inches of snow for Chicago, depending if the lake effect moves far enough to the west. It's going to be very variable, as the name implies, and we're going to have to see how this plays out. But for now, just prepare for the worst, and the bulk of it's mainly going to be in Michigan and Indiana. But this isn't the only thing I'm paying attention to right here. There's also a potential lake effect event going on in parts of Ohio over here. In fact, the NWS is putting out winter storm warnings for a lot of the Cleveland area right here, and we're going to go ahead and pull those up as we continue to look at this. Here's the winter storm warning in effect. Heavy snow expected. Total snow accumulation of 5 to 8 inches for portions of north central and northeastern Ohio from 11 p.m. this evening until 4 a.m. on Saturday. Travel could be very difficult once again. So we're going to go ahead and show you the forecast models, and we're going to mainly use the NAM for this as this thing starts to move through, and parts of Ohio start to see pretty much the peak of this Alberta clip right here, and parts of Cleveland and parts of the suburbs over there, Akron over there into Erie, Pennsylvania, as we continue to show that. What's the total snow accumulation looking like according to this? And this is by Sunday right here. And pretty much in Ohio, according to the NAM, we're looking at anywhere from 6 to 10 inches of snow, with some areas potentially going up to a foot of snow in parts of Pennsylvania and New York as that lake effect kicks in. The NAM Nest is showing similar results right here, although it's mainly focused on the lake side right here. We're looking at anywhere from 7 to 12 inches of snow from Cleveland to near Buffalo, New York, which got absolutely pummeled by all that lake effect that ended up delaying the Bills-Steelers game. By the way, congrats to the Bills. You guys earned it. But anyway, that's besides the point. The GEM RDPS is giving anywhere from what I'm looking at, 8 to 12 inches of snow from pretty much Buffalo all the way to Cleveland, with some areas in Cuyahoga County getting up to 10 inches of snow, which is particularly crazy for that part of the state right there. The GEM GDPS unfortunately doesn't zoom in over there, but based off what I'm looking at, showing similar results to the GEM RDPS. They're both the same model. One of them short term, one of them's long term. European model is continuing to trickle in right here, and the European is showing parts of Ohio, pretty much from Cleveland all the way to Buffalo, New York, getting anywhere from 5 to 8 inches of snow. That's why the NWS is putting out that warning. That's also taking into account lake effect that's going to be moving through, and the GFS is showing similar results over there, and potentially bringing some more lake effect snow to these areas in Buffalo over here as we continue to take a look at all of this. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a crazy situation developing in both Lake Michigan and Lake Erie, and potentially Lake Ontario if things start to pick up over there. So we have a lot of stuff that we're continuing to cover right there, and we're continuing more long-term track. After all this is over, we're looking at a potential ice storm starting on Monday for the Chicago area, according to the GFS, before it transitions over to rain and then eventually snow as this kind of mix kind of starts to move over. So we're going to have to continue to keep a very close eye on this as the winter is not even close to done. This pattern continues to have no sign of slowing down at all at this point. We continue to see more and more low pressure systems and more snow systems, particularly potentially New York again and all the way to Boston if it gets up to there. And then pretty much as we get to really long range, we have an Alberta clipper or Canada clipper moving through Ohio and Pennsylvania over there, and more things continue to happen as the pattern starts to change, and we potentially look at a more severe weather setup for parts of February going into March. So we have a lot to pay attention to once again, and we will keep you updated on all of this here on the Pat's Path Predictor channel. One last thing I want to say before I go is if you are in any of these lake effect areas where you're going to see a lot of lake effect snow, just do not travel anytime once this winter storm warning goes into effect, especially if you're tuning in from Northwest Indiana in Chicago and in Michigan as well, as this really starts to ramp up. We'll continue to update you here on the Pat's Path Predictor channel, but with that being said, we're going to go ahead and close the video out right here. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. It helps us out, helps us make more videos like these. The goal of this channel is to get more people engaged with weather, and if you want to see the behind the scenes of these videos or ask us questions about the lake effect or any more potential snow hazards that are coming your way, be sure to join the Storms United Discord server. The link to that is right over there. And with that being said, have a wonderful day, guys. Stay safe.